So, hello, this is Emily, and a warm welcome to the Wish Tree Academy and warm welcome to the Workshop Blueprint program. I am so excited that you are part of this wonderful, wonderful new adventure of ours, completely dedicated to the growth of your business and the growth of you as a coach. And I created the Workshop Blueprint program to help you make an even greater impact in this world so that you can live your purpose to the full. And it is an absolute honor for me to serve you in this way on your journey. So I just can't wait for us to begin this adventure next week. So, what can you expect to learn on this 8-week program that we have together? Well, it is much more than simply learning how to deliver a workshop. This is a program that will help you reflect on who you are as a coach, what you want for your business, and the impact that you want to have in this world, and how you're going to be changing the lives of your clients. So by the end of the 8 weeks that we have together, you will know who your ideal client is. You will know what the specific problem is that you want to help your client solve. You will understand the impact that you're going to have in the world, and you will know much more about what it means to be an authentic leader, in particular facilitating workshops or learning programs with your ideal clients. So, as part of the journey, you'll be stepping into and owning your story and understanding how your own story is so important to the journey that you are taking your clients on and the story of the workshops that you'll be delivering. You will have a crystal clear vision for your work as a coach or consultant, and crucially, you will have designed a transformational workshop using our step-by-step guide, and it will be completely ready to be delivered with your ideal clients at the end of our 8 weeks together. So you will be ready to just take off and start delivering those important workshops with your ideal clients. And this course means, this step-by-step guide that I will be taking you through means that you will have a blueprint for all your future workshops and learning programs that you may want to design and deliver in future. So it will be just for you to go back to the step-by-step guide, follow it, and you'll be able to create a brand new workshop following the guide. So let's look at some logistics then for our time together. So the Workshop Blueprint program is 8 weeks. Every Monday morning, you will be receiving new materials into your inbox. There will be a video, much like the one that you are watching right now. There'll be some worksheets and exercises for you to do every week. We'll have some group calls, more about that in a moment. We'll have some individual coaching sessions, more about that soon as well. And there will be a learning community set up by our Facebook group, one that you've already been added to. I would say that you should expect to spend around 5 or 6 hours a week on the course materials. Now, some weeks there may be more hours that you'll put in, and other weeks it might be a little bit less. And that's all depending on your prior knowledge or where you are at currently with your coaching or consulting business. So what you'll be doing on a week-by-week basis is that you're going to be posting your homework in the Facebook group for some feedback every week. And I'll be checking in every single day in the morning to give feedback on anything that you post in there. We'll have 2 group calls, 2 community learning calls a week on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and I'll say more about that in a moment, how to log in, how to access those calls. And in week 1, 3, and 8, you will have a one-to-one dedicated coaching session with me, and you need to book in your week 1 coaching call with me as soon as possible. There is a link in the email for you to click on, and you will book in your call there. And I recommend you doing that as soon as possible because those time slots tend to book up very quickly. Okay, so let's just look at what we will be covering and learning on a week-by-week basis. Okay, so in week 1, we're going to get really stuck in looking at who your ideal client is and what you will be helping them with. We'll be looking at what your purpose as a coach and consultant is. What's the higher purpose for you to do this work? What is the difference that you want to make in this world? So we'll be digging deep and creating a foundation for our work, a foundation that we need in order to be able to be creative from. So a lot of work in week 1. There'll be some collage work, some exercises for you to work with in form of worksheets, and you'll also have that important one-to-one coaching session with me. In week 2, we will be learning about learning. I'll be giving you some basic learning theory that will be very, very useful for you to know as you are facilitating your workshop and designing the different elements of it. So we'll be looking at learning styles, and you'll be doing some learning styles tests as well. And very crucially, you will be articulating, formulating your learning outcomes for your workshop or learning program. In week 3, it's all about storytelling, your own story, how it relates to the story of your workshop and why it is important for your workshop to be transformational. So it's all about story and storytelling, owning your story, and it will also be having a one-to-one coaching session in week 3, and you'll receive a separate link for booking that in. So no need to book that in now. You just book in week 1 now. Okay. Week 4 is dedicated to the beginning of your workshop or learning program. So this is about an introduction. This is about how to create a community of learners. This is about how to create an agreement of trust. This is about how you help your learners to take responsibility for their own learning, and the very specific learning outcomes that you want to achieve in the first part of your workshop or learning program. In week 5, it's all about the juicy middle. It's about the different multisensory elements that you will be choosing and designing as part of the middle of your workshop or learning program. The intentions for those activities and the learning outcomes for those activities. Week 6 is about closing your workshop, closing your learning program. So what are the rituals that are important for that part of the workshop? You'll be looking at how you can enroll those participants into your coaching or consulting business. How do you evaluate the impact of your workshop or learning program? All of that in week 6. In week 7, we'll be looking at logistics, and that means looking at how do you choose a venue? Why is the venue important? Looking at access issues, looking at timings, how to create a fail-safe workshop checklist, choosing your materials, and so on and so forth. And in our final week together, we'll be looking at do's and don'ts of facilitation. Okay, and we will also be looking at who are you being as you are facilitating. So again, this is about you stepping into your authentic leadership as a facilitator of your workshop or learning program. And we will have a final one-to-one coaching session, and you will be receiving an email with a specific link of how to book that in. So no need to book that now either. Okay, so our Facebook group, the dedicated Workshop Blueprint Facebook group to which you are already added, is the place where you post your homework every week, and I will be checking in every morning around 9 o'clock to give you feedback on anything that you've posted in there. This is a place for accountability. We all know that it's much easier to get things done if we've told other people that we're doing it. And this is a place for cheering each other on, positive vibes, be inspired by what we're sharing, being curious about each other's work and learning from each other. We are a community of learners where we are all learning from each other. Our group calls take place on Tuesday evenings at 6 p.m. GMT and on Thursday afternoons at 3:30 p.m. To these calls, you bring any questions, queries, reflections, any hurdles that you might have come up with. No question is too small for these calls, and you can attend both calls, Tuesday and Thursday, or you can choose to just take part in one of them. So the software program that we'll be using for these calls is something called Uber Conference. An email has already been sent to you with a link to sign up to Uber Conference, and so you just need to click on that link and get yourself signed up, and you need to verify your email in order to be completely signed up to it. Now, at the start of every single community call that we'll have, you will receive an email with a link to that conference. So all you need to do is click on the join the call link there in the email, and you'll be taken straight to that call and you'll be able to access it straight away. And I do recommend you using your computer when you're accessing these calls, and or you can use your smartphone, but I really recommend you doing that rather than dialing in, because that number is a US number and it will be a higher cost for you to use that if you're dialing in. So highly recommend you using your computer. Now, what's great about Uber Conference is that at the end of the call, you will be receiving another email from them with an entire recording and transcript of the chat during the call as well, and any other files that might have been shared during the call. All of that summary sent to you, so if you were not able to attend the call, you will still have access to all of that material. Okay, now the coaching calls that we'll be having together in week 1, 3 and 8 are of a slightly different nature to our community calls. First of all, they're one-to-one dedicated calls that are just for you and dedicated to the growth of you as a coach or consultant. So to these calls, you won't be bringing any specific questions that are to do with logistics or questions to do with the course materials. What we'll be looking at during the coaching calls are things that might be coming up for you on a more personal level as you're journeying through the program. So there might be limiting beliefs coming up, or there might be some blurring around your vision. All of that we will be looking at. There might be some emotional blockages that we can look at as well. And this is all so that you can have complete clarity of vision around your purpose, around the impact that you're going to be making in the world and through your workshops, and really to help you step into your power, own your story, and become an authentic leader. So all of that in week 1, 3 and 8. Okay, so lastly, I thought I'd mention that if you know that you're a person who likes to use a range of materials when you're learning, I recommend you stocking up on these materials now before Monday. They are optional. But they will be very, very useful. And if there's one thing that I recommend everyone getting, it is a dedicated workshop blueprint notebook. You may also want to get a folder if you know that you're someone who wants to print things out and stick them in the folder, but that is obviously optional. You may want to save all the materials on your computer instead. I've put a handful of A3 sheets of paper here because we will be making some collages, in particular in week 1 and also in week 8. For that, you need some glue sticks, pair of scissors, some old magazines or newspapers, and perhaps different coloured pens or pencils. So I recommend you stocking up on this if you know that you're a person who likes to work in this way before Monday. So just a little hint there. Okay, and now absolutely crucial is that we are all learners as part of this journey together. And we'll all be stepping outside of our comfort zones, and we are going to be stepping out of our comfort zones so that we can create magic together and go places that we've never gone before. And that is how we're going to be. That's the very ethos of our time together. So I absolutely cannot wait to start working with you this Monday. Get yourselves signed up for that first coaching call, and I can't wait to see you next week. Bye for now.